Good morning, afternoon, or evening, everybody.
Hello, happy Thursday.
Listen, today is the last day of our stream for the week. Remember, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. But in today's show, what we want to talk to you about is social media, right? We want to go over a little bit of etiquette, right? And a little bit of engagement today.
Yeah, because I know a lot of you who are network marketers are either not using social media or you're using it the wrong way. So there's no other way to put it, right? So we're here to give you some tips and tricks, and we're going to let Chrissy do a lot of this. I like to defer to her when it comes to, the specifics with certain social media, but at the end of the day, it's still always about giving value, whether it's in your emails, your lives, your videos that you send out to people, and really finding a way to serve in a public way, and then you sell privately on the back end, whether it's in your email campaign or your conversations. So yes,
Exactly.
Chrissy's got the sauce for you.
So, one of the things that I want to touch on first is engagement. Okay. Engagement is a very big deal because if you are there solely to get likes, to get comments, to get, you're going to have very slow traction because people live vicariously through other people's experiences and through their information on social media because of the way we connect now because of technology. So if you're there to get, you're not going to be there very long, or you're not going to be very successful. So engagement is, well, for me, to me, engagement is providing some sort of value and then having that conversation, right? If you have new subscribers, maybe thank them for subscribing. And for me personally, because of how the algorithms work on, I know, Facebook, Instagram, and things like that, the comment section is where you want to have those conversations. So when you get new followers, if you see that they've also made a comment, then go ahead and respond to them, right? And engagement on social media, as far as your responses, please try to make sure that you're doing 5 words or more. Like emojis don't count as engagement, okay? But when you get those new subscribers, they pop in, you see, like, you can see who just started following you, you can see who just like started subscribing to you. So if you see that they've also made a comment on that post, you may have gotten their attention because of that post. So give them a little bit of attention back, right? Maybe say, hey, thanks for the follow. What do you love about this post? Right? What was something that made you, right? And my I guess pro tip would be is to ask questions, because when you ask questions in the chat, you get answers in the chat, and then you have conversations in the chat, and the algorithms like that.
They do. And so same thing with like when people get negative, if it's not really over the top, like I think you know what I'm talking about. It's like you don't want that in your comments, Let people discuss and debate, because that just helps the algorithm when they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, debating. And you're like, oh, I don't want them seeing that. Let people debate, because it just pushes your content further into, the algorithm liking it and showing it. Debating
Exactly.
is a good thing. I like it when people debate. I notice, like, too, when like the whole let's ask a question thing, and that's just to get people talking and debating.
Pretty much. Like controversial, like slightly controversial questions.
Slightly. And
Yep.
you can ask a question without taking a point of view on it.
Exactly. That's what I was doing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it was I wanted to know what everybody's favorite conspiracy theory was.
That's funny.
Definitely was a big topic. Like,
Yeah, like, what do you think about these gas prices? I saw that one yesterday from one of the networkers I follow, who's, a 7-figure earner, and the people are just going at it, right? And it has nothing to do with his business. He sells nutritionals.
right. Like, but what it is the algorithms on social media really like for you to have engagement as close to the time that you originally posted as possible. Right. So as soon as it pops up, like, one of the things that I do is I actually post. And while I'm posting, I schedule time within that first 15 minutes to be actively engaging with the community on that post. Now, I'm not saying like you have to be back and forth on your page, in your comment section all day. Nope. The most important part is right when you first post, go ahead and make sure that you're creating engagement, you're being involved, you're engaging with your community, you're interacting. And then that's it. Take 15 minutes and just say, you know what? I posted it. Let's just see what happens and go from there. But that is like another pro tip for me.
And don't forget to email your list a broadcast message immediately. I'm going live, or did you see the post I just put up, or whatever the subject line is, like immediately get that broadcast ready to go. So because you guys know the difference between your campaign and your broadcast. Your campaign is what's automatically set to go out. It's more evergreen. Your broadcasts are, this is happening today. So you have that broadcast, that one-off that goes out. And like Richard, who I follow, he is so diligent about this. This morning when I knew he was live because it was in my inbox, in my email inbox. And okay, let me click this. So it's like, if you're like me and you've built hundreds of thousands of subscribers that's on your email list, they're not necessarily up on social media. Let them know immediately, I'm live right now, or whatever, like that question that she just asked. What was it? What's your favorite conspiracy theory?
Yes.
You can throw that would be the subject line, but then it's like, hey, we talked about this, and you get them back over to your social media. So maybe that's the one time that you're not trying to just drive people in your email, maybe back over to your join link, right? Or your video or whatever. So don't forget to use your email. Email is bigger than social media. Make sure you're using it in you combining the two.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Right.
And another thing that I want to touch on is just, wait, where'd it go? This is why I have notes, y'all. It disappeared. I'll be back.
Because she's got squirrels running around inside her brain. Sometimes she pulls them out and puts them on her background so we can see the squirrel. But
yes. There he is.
Yep. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Gotta be having fun. It'll come back to you. It'll come back to you.
It'll be right back.
I broke up her rhythm because I'm like the email person, and I'm like, gotta make sure you guys don't forget to just, where else can you go to? On social media, you got to wait for people to come to you. On email, you're coming to them. So it's like, I'm always like, make sure you don't forget to do your email blast.
Mm-hmm. I'm so like, it disappeared. It was like,
we were talking about engagements, and you were talking about the first 15 minutes matter. And we were talking about, we already talked about using at least 5 words.
Oh, got it.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. See, like it works. Okay. So the 80-20 rule.
Mm-hmm.
If you are building a business online, do not constantly shill your business to the masses online. On social media, again, people live vicariously through you and your experiences because of technology. So if they're following you because of something business related, just understand that they might want a little bit more than that, right? I know one of the big things on Instagram is behind the scenes stuff, like what happens behind the scenes, outtakes, when people edit their videos and things like that. But you want to do 80% of what's on your content for social media is value-based content, not selling something content, real life content. Like, my community knows I love food. I love pink. I do a lot of mindset stuff, right? And then I do have days where it's like, I'm talking about the business, but it's like far and few between, because they follow me because of my experiences and us wanting to have that open dialogue, those conversations. But if you're constantly putting out your business, yep, there are some pages that do that. However, you as a real world person, not as a corporate conglomerate, might want to go ahead and share some of your life. Maybe you want to see, because we specifically talk to network marketers that are parents, right? We are 2 busy moms. So sometimes we might talk about busy mom stuff, right? We also have other things that we do outside of the network marketing stuff. We're traders, we're investors, right? So you hear about that stuff throughout our social media. It's not just the business. People kind of get tired of that sometimes. So
Yeah, and don't forget that if you are going to be posting links, it's not it's a good chance it shouldn't be to your primary business. It should be to your automatic enrollment tool.
yep.
Because people are actually not on social media to buy. They're on social media to be entertained. And so, when you use certain types of content and types of links, your automatic enrollment tools are things that people are like, oh, this is simple. I can do it. It's low cost. I'm gonna go check this out and join her team, his team, or whatever. I don't have to talk to Chrissy because this thing is $20. I'm just gonna go do it. And that's what should be up on your social media. And then if you have things that are a little more complicated comp plan or complicated on the back end as far as even compensation plans. Some of these compensation plans are so convoluted.
Crazy.
That should be in your back end area and on fast track training. And this morning, I was working on your automatic enrollment tool training this morning inside of the fast track that, by the way, our fast track blueprint, we're going to be giving this to you guys for free. And we're just going to have you like a little digital processing fee that just helps us cover our hosting and whatnot. You're going to be able to see like what's the audience I should be targeting, like Christy's talking about, right? And how to niche down that market, niche, whatever. Whatever word you like to use, because you always get corrected no matter which word you use,
right?
or pronunciation. The automatic enrollment tools, right? I have businesses that I love, but if I put them up front, I'm going to have less enrollments on them. But if I put an automatic enrollment tool in there and that's what's on my social media, I'll actually enroll more people on the back end into the higher end program because I have more people to talk to. So I'm not going to do the training right now. You're going to wait till we're done with it. It's definitely taking longer than we would hope to get this done, but it's only because we want to make sure it's done right for you. So I had to add that in because we see a lot of like effort being put out too. Like you're using social media, but you're just dropping your join link in your description. Or because you're hoping that they felt compelled by the video to your $300 a month program or your complicated nutritional vitamin jar, whatever, or whatever it is, right? Because I don't know what you have, but I know what I have and things like that. And it really needs to be. And if your company some companies do a great job of having a lower end way to get involved. Those are the things that are going to get you those automatic enrollments, the things that, I use and our team has used to sponsor a couple hundred people a year into our businesses. So I just want to throw that in there because the links you're dropping, if you're not capturing people's information to follow up with them on the back end email, you might be I'm having so much success. I enrolled 3 people this month off my social media. You could have maybe enrolled 20 if you would have just used the proper link.
Right. And then again, like we touched on it the other day, having that funnel system set up, having that capture set up is very important because again, I had somebody go through my automated system for 7 months before they signed up because the information stayed in front of them. So it's important to if people are interested that one day until they unsubscribe, they're there.
Yeah, and let's dissect what she just said, right? Because like this was a new concept for her as well.
Yep.
Is that you're like, but it took 7 months for them to enroll. They were never going to enroll right away. Okay. Could she have kept in front of them every couple of days for 7 months? Sure, maybe 1 or 2 people. And how are you going to do that? You're going to call them every 2 days. They're going to be so irritated with you.
Yep.
But we're talking thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on the back end in your funnel getting dripped on, being followed up. It really does 99% of the work for us. We have to do our 1%, which is to put the traffic into the funnel. You got this huge funnel, right? Some of you have seen our visual. That's a science part. We always know if you dump enough traffic into the top of that funnel, it's going to drip out a certain number of enrollments for you if you use the proper type of tools on the front end. Then it drips into a little funnel, and that has the label art on it, because now people have joined something, and then you're going to speak with them, and that the human factor comes back into the art funnel because it's speaking with them, right? So understand that it's really important to have something that's swishing and swirling all of your prospects around and getting stuff in front of them as often as possible, and not in an intrusive way. They can unsubscribe. I hear people say all the time, I get too many emails from so-and-so. Why haven't you unsubscribed? Well, I like getting their emails. So don't think you're sending too much email, because you're not. I know I get frustrated. One a day is, some people send 2 a day. Well, they might unsubscribe. Yep. But people are like Christina, they got squirrels running around in their head, seeing a lot of stuff. And if you don't keep your information in front of them on a daily basis, then it's troublesome, because somebody else is doing it. They're sending them emails every day, same thing with social media. Posting, if you're doing social media, if that's one of your strategies, just posting, something every single day, but making sure that if they do need to opt in, if they're going to look at something, have them opt in. The other argument to that is, I'm going to play devil's advocate. Well, they might click off if they have to opt in. Yeah, some might, but it's weighing out. I'm going to tell you from experience and success that more people will opt in than you're losing who don't. Right. And if you don't ask for information on the front end, what's going to happen? They're not going to get followed up with.
Exactly. And that's one of the things that I'm learning inside of network marketing. Cause this is my first go at it. Right. And last, right. But I am learning one of the things, right. One of the things that I learned was, I was talking to people and getting people's information, but what I wasn't doing was making sure that I was following up with them. I've taken 10 flights this year so far, and I get whoever's sitting next to me, if they ain't already in one of the things I'm doing, they gonna be, or at least I'm gonna talk about it a little bit, because we sitting there for at least 2 hours, right? Okay, and I pull out my laptop, you see all my notes, all this crazy stuff, right? But what I was doing was getting their social media. But in getting their social media, I wasn't following up. I was just hoping that they would keep following me. But there's no way for me to keep that conversation going, that engagement going, without saying, hey, here's a newsletter, pipsforbrunch.com.
Right. And I'm going to bet, it's not like I'm trying to call you out, but I bet you didn't get their email address.
No. And that's what I have been doing. I put the Pips for Brunch up on my IG. So it's in there now. And then what happens is I get their IG and follow them, so I can move the conversation over from there. It's oh, don't forget to hit the link in my bio somewhere in the conversation. I always give out free sauce and stuff like that in there, but it's before I was just getting people's information. Or no, I'm sorry. I was giving them my information, but I wasn't getting theirs.
Right. The number one reason to have a business card is to get their information. Nobody cares about your business card.
Exactly. So I was giving them my Instagram, but it was I wasn't getting theirs. So now the roles have reversed. I get their Instagram. I send them a message. So now it's hey, don't forget. Hey, I followed you. I met you at which, right? So I'm getting better. I'm learning. This is definitely a new thing, but
it is a learning process.
Yep.
It's the number one reason why you should have a business card. And I'll give you guys a little tip. Screenshot your business card or make an image, a bright image, like a square, nothing fancy. This is where people get around. Fancy is not better.
Right.
Just got your name, your email, your telephone number, your socials, whatever, and screenshot it. And the best thing you can do when you're talking to somebody is, let me give you my business card. I don't know if I have any on me, or be honest, right? You don't even have to, if you have some on you, don't lie, because some people do that. But what you really want is can I text this to you? Let me text you my business card. Right. So what are you doing when you say that? Is it okay if I text you my business card? You are getting their phone number now.
Yep.
And if you didn't even, what did you say your name was? Oh, that's right. Because they might not even told you your name. You're just talking, right? And there's other things you can do to track when you're out and about and things like that. But I want you to understand that your business card is only for you to use. Obviously, they might call you, but it's to get their information, but you have to do it very strategically. It's like, let me text you my business card. What's your number? Right? They give you, this could be a stranger at the grocery store. You would be surprised. We did this in real estate. What they'll give. Then now you got their phone number. And I'm sorry, did you say your name was Joe? Oh, you said it was Bob. I'm sorry about that. Right? It's right. So you put it in there. And then it's like, you know what? I might have a business card in my purse or in my wallet. Let me dig around in there. You do the digital first because you don't have a reason to send them to them digitally if you do it second. Yeah. Right. So it's like, because you're trying to get their phone number. So it's like, oh, I got one here. Let me give that to you. Right. And you know what? Do you mind if I just send you some information by email too? Okay, cool. What's your email? Get your phone back out, stick your email address in. It's just that simple. It really is. If you don't ask, you don't get. Right. But it's how you do it. It's how you do it. I've people who wear buttons on their shirt and they'll about whatever. So like with me, it was I buy houses when we were doing real estate. Turn the button upside down. What? Yep. People will be like, your button's upside down. Your name tag. If you're in a network marketing company, you could be wearing a name tag. They don't know that you don't need a name tag while you're at the grocery store. And then I know that some of the strategy is to put the name tag upside down. It just is, people want to tell you that your name tag's upside down. This
people
is how
always want to fix stuff.
Right. And it's like, oh, okay, cool. Right. So it's like, oh, you would be amazed the conversations that you get into, and they approached you. And that's the key. I'm all about bringing people to me, not me going out and trying to, let me call you and get you to look at this thing. Right. So this digressed into a non-social media topic.
No, this is still social media though.
When
like just social media and capturing, because you want to have that conversation. Now you can say, you know what? I got your IG. Hey, let me check and see if I got a business card really quick. Like, and get everything. I love that.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So the other thing about sending them a digital business card and it just having it be like a real, like a colorful screenshot of some information on a square, like an Instagram square, right? Is it's now on their phone.
Yep. Like so what I've been learning is the two things that people don't really do that everybody swears they do, right? If you get somebody's information and you send them a text, they won't delete the text thread. They'll go back to it and say, I wonder what this was, because they won't save your name immediately, right? I wonder what this was. And they'll click on it and it'll be like this bright thing that you gave them with your information on it. The other thing that people don't do, social media wise, is unfollow you if initially they're not interested. That's true. Why it's very important for you to like not constantly or continually put out just your business information, right? Because most people won't unfollow you. Really weird. And a lot of people think that they do because they're not interested. They're going to click unfollow. No, not really. People are kind of lazy, just like they won't unsubscribe to your email list.
Right.
Even like it takes a while. I'm like, I might get 50 dang on emails before I'm like, maybe I should unsubscribe. I haven't read like the last 10, right? It takes a while.
Right. And if they ever liked one of the emails and got some value from it, they're like, maybe I'm not going to unsubscribe from this because they might something else. And I do it all the time.
Exactly. Yep.
I'm on way too many lists.
Me too, but we do it for a different reason.
I do. I subscribe to things so that I can learn from other marketers.
Yep. I do the same thing. It's like, ooh, this is a good line.
Right. It's copy. You guys want to have a swipe file on your computer for different things, which are basically, you see a good subject line, you see a good Instagram post or whatever, and you're just swiping the information because you might use it later in another fashion. So you want to have, we're going to give away some swipe files in Abstract Blueprint. Yeah.
That's what I was going to ask. Are we giving away like the walkthrough to how we set up the funnel?
So we are going to give you guys a blueprint with some bonuses so that you can have some things that you need. It's going to give you like the outline. And, we we can definitely talk to you about like what's going on with your particular company, right? If it's whatever it is, Herbalife, Amway, I'll use those because we all know what those companies are. Whatever your company is, you will have the opportunity to get a fast start training with someone from our office. You might get Chrissy or myself as well. Wouldn't that be bonus?
Right.
They get one of us, right? So, and then, you know, we can talk about, you know, how you can get access to setting up an automatic enrollment tool type funnel. Okay. Automatic enrollment tools are huge. And we tend to like, well, I joined this business because I love it. And it's so the community's great and the company's great and whatever, right? Everybody always thinks that everything that they have at their company is the best, this. It just is. It's like a broken record for me because I've just heard the terminology. We have the best CEO. So I've heard that like probably 35 times in the companies I've been in. So, but anyway, I digress because it's like, you know, that's noise. Like, do you think that prospect cares about what your opinion is of the CEO? They care about what's in it for them, right?
Right.
So when we do these funnels, we have to remove as best we can our emotional attachment to why we are involved. And from a marketing standpoint, realize that if what you're doing is this is where we fool ourselves. Okay. If what you're doing has brought you some success, you think it's the end all be all. You didn't know that it could be improved upon or that you could have had more success with the same effort. So sometimes success can be a little bit, it can actually having some early success can
like
curtail.
stifling.
Yes, because we're like, oh, this works, so I'm going to use it. Well, it's not that the things that we talk about are, you know, do friends and making lists of your friends and family work? Yes, absolutely. People build with their friends and family.
Yep.
Does cold prospecting at the gas station work? Yes, it can work. Are you going to enroll a couple hundred people a year prospecting at the gas station? No. I'm 100% certain that 99% of people, 99.99% of people are not going to enroll a couple hundred people a year going around to gas stations all day prospecting. Right. So it's about leverage. It's about leverage. Right. And that's a term we use in trading. It's also a term we use in marketing, right? Yep. We want to leverage our efforts. So if we're already going to be posting on social media, why not be doing the things that Christy's talking about, making sure that you're engaging properly, that you're posting properly, but also where are you sending people? Because at the end of the day, social media likes, posts, likes and shares and things can also be misleading because you're like, oh, I'm so popular. If you're not getting sales on the back end, it don't matter.
Likes and shares and comments do not pay bills.
That's true.
Okay. Like create engagement so people know, like, and trust you, so that when you do present an opportunity, they're more apt to look at it. But like social media don't pay the bills unless you are getting people into those automatic enrollment systems, unless you are building know, like, and trust, unless you are building a credible people, like Christy said, people think the likes and the shares and the comments on social media are a positive or a gauge as to how fast their business is going to grow. Mm-hmm. It is not a gauge to how your business is going to grow. People might just like you online. Like they just might want, like, what we've learned in trading is most people are lazy, right? And that's not to say everybody listening is lazy, but most people are. I was one of those people, right? So if I hear something on social media, it's like, maybe I'll use it, maybe I won't. Maybe I was just a part of the conversation and it was good information, but I'll never actually act on it, right? So in building this know, like, and trust, it's important for you to have the engagement, for you to have the funnel. All of these things work together so that you can get stuff done. Like, and when I say stuff done, I mean bills paid.
I'll tell you, if you really want to learn social media, like in a way, not that we really use it as much, but like if you really want to learn social media specifically for network marketing, the number one expert to me in the world, and this is, we don't get anything by this by plugging him, is Fraser Brooks.
Fraser
And
Brooks?
yep.
Oh.
So I would definitely, and again, I don't get any little percentage off of his book sales or his, whatever programs he sells or whatever. But he is definitely one of the, and that's just my opinion as far as number one, but he's in the top, right, of people who teach social media for network marketing. And I mean, he is a big proponent of serve publicly and sell privately, but he really can teach you great ways to be active with your social media. Like, being like, I don't want to message strangers and stuff. Like, if you want to use Messenger on social media so that you're waiting for people to come to your social media page or like, comment, post, is the passive stuff. Oh, I'm posted today, right? If you actually want to use your social media in an active way, in a way that's not scuzzy and scammy and pervy and all these other things. I say pervy because we get some pervy messages. Like, people give you marriage proposals and all kinds of weird stuff.
Now, but I'm okay with the marriage proposals. Oh, I've proposed to like the brisket people. Y'all know I like food. I've proposed to like a grill master or a pit master or two in my day.
Well, I'm sure it's a little, and if she did, it's in jest. Like, but we do get that. Are you? What does your husband do? Because they're trying to fish to find out if you have one, right? It's like, But anyway, I digress again because we could just have so much fun talking about this. He really shows you how to reach out to people if you, and this is in addition, this is separate from what we're talking about with building with automatic enrollments, but your automatic enrollment tools also can work well with your warm market, well with if you're cold calling people on the telephone from genealogy lists. I don't care what it is. The barriers that you can eliminate, the big one is always cost, right? Yeah. So when you have tools that are people like, yeah, I think I'm going to check that out. The other thing about the automatic enrollment tools, they're kind of like what Christina and I were talking about with unsubscribing from either your YouTube channel or unsubscribing from an email. Things that people are using that are kind of low end costs, a lot of times they don't cancel them right away because they're just not sure. Well, I might use that in a few months. But I'll tell you what, if I'm spending like $100 a month, if I'm not using it, I'm canceling that thing. If I'm not using something, but if it's like $10, right now, I haven't used YouCanBook.me in like 3 months and I'm still paying for it. Why? Because it's $10 and I'm like, yeah, I'm probably going to go back and use that again. I don't want to reset everything up.
That's how I am with my Later. Like I pay yearly for it. And on my personal one, like it'll be a month sometimes and I won't use it because I've been doing so many lives. And I love the service. So I won't undo it.
So, costs are a thing. Cost is a thing. It's a thing. Yeah. And it's like, you don't have to overcome as much of the cost issues if you have some enrollment tools on the front end that are lower cost, because you're just bringing people into your circle and you're actually creating your own buyer leads at this point. And buyer leads are, people who sell buyer leads, that's a premium. You're going to pay 4 or 5, sometimes 10 times as much for buyer leads than just regular leads. So anyway, that's just a little sneak peek because, we are going to do a fast track in a day.
Yep. And
that's where we're just going to pour in a day, everything that we've learned in over 10 or 15 years in a day. And give you that, that step-by-step what Christine is talking about. But we also want to make sure you have the blueprint, at least the blueprint and some tools and like bonuses and things that you can use. And as soon as we're done today, I'm right back at putting together some of this stuff. We've been hard at work.
Yep. So listen, we give out lots of sauce. This was way more sauce than I thought.
I feel like I should have, right. Yes. We gave you a lot of tips today on a lot of things.
Pro tips and everything. So don't forget, you guys, go ahead and subscribe to pipsforbrunch.com so that you guys don't miss out, because, we gave y'all a lot of sauce in here. Imagine what you would get if you had us here and in the newsletter, right? Because at the end of the day, like, Listen, we help network marketers fix their businesses. That's what we do. And we want to make sure that even if you're not a network marketer, if you are an entrepreneur, you can get the value and use it the way that you need to inside of your business too. So subscribe. I'm just saying.
You're so funny. All right. You have a wonderful weekend. We will be back here Tuesday.
Right. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.